Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show. Hey, Dawn over there, how are you?
Hello.
Everyone, we're going to have a great show. First of all, we want to give homage and honor to those that served our country, those that have lost their lives in honor of serving our country, and to all of the families that are left here to mourn those on this Memorial Day. We don't take it lightly, the bravery and the sacrifice that was given in honor of our country. So, where people say Happy Memorial Day, it is a happy Memorial Day from the perspective of us celebrating and honoring those that gave their lives so selflessly in honor of all of us to be able to have the freedom that we do today. So thank you to the families that are watching, to the families that are honoring those that have passed on. Okay, so you all know the routine here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Make sure you take a moment and go ahead and share the broadcast with your friends, your family, your coworkers. Let everybody know people are home today, relaxing, doing cookouts and all kinds of things. Take 1 hour of your day and work with the Kim Jacobs Show. Tune in and be a part of today's broadcast. So take this moment, share it with your friends and family. Make sure you comment if you want me to know that you're on today's broadcast, okay? And we are going to get started as soon as I give you guys just a minute to share it with everyone. If you haven't subscribed to the Kim Jacobs Show, make sure you take a moment after the broadcast. Don't interrupt the broadcast right now, but take a moment to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show on YouTube. I have some goals in mind on how many subscribers I would like to have, but more importantly, I just want to make sure that I'm touching lives and that from a balance perspective, providing you with a wide array of information that can help anyone from cradle to grave and even beyond. So I hope that you are receiving inspiration on the Kim Jacobs Show. All right. We're going to go ahead and introduce my wonderful guest today. Dawn Earhart Whitty is a certified life coach, international speaker, author, and the founder of the Desire to Inspire Foundation and co-founder of the B Tour. She has also founded the B Line skincare and fragrance products coming soon to national retailers. Woo-hoo. Okay. Being a mom to her two daughters, Taylor and Carrington, is her proudest role and title. Because of her great love for children, she started the Desire to Inspire Foundation, which provides children around the world with a mother's love and care while helping them find and use their own special gifts and talents to help themselves and others. She's a philanthropist from a very early age, and she began her foundation with passion for helping and inspiring others. Now, it's so many things that she focuses on, which I'm going to let her tell you more about those, because eradicating hunger and poverty is what, like, her driving force. So I want to take this time to just welcome Dawn Whitty. Hey, Dawn.
Oh, thank you so much, Kim. It is such a pleasure to be talking to you today. And I want to send my hugest gratitude. My brother Thad, shout out to him. He was a Marine. My father was a Marine. My grandfather was a Marine. So I have the utmost respect and gratitude for everybody who served.
Yes.
So happy Memorial Day.
Aw. Well, I want to make sure that people get a chance. You are just a woman of many colors. I love all the colors that you have on in the background there. And it's so, you know what, it's kind of blurred a little bit. So I don't know why.
Mm.
I know you don't want to go as cute as you are through a whole interview blurred. So just
I don't know how to unblur.
you good on your end?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think so.
and Sean would tell me anyway. So let me just double check with her. Okay, it's perfect. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Okay. So anyway, I want to make sure people get a chance to know everything that you're doing. And first of all, just tell us about your journey, because you're this person that's founded Desire to Inspire Foundation. But what transpired in your life that brought you to this place?
Been an evolving journey, and I think that it's a process. And my whole life has been training me to get to where I am today. First of all, I had my children, and before I had my children, I didn't even realize how much I love being a mother. I think that's something you learn, right?
Mhm.
Um, And then I needed to go through that experience in order to come out on the other side and see what a precious gift being a mother is, and that strong bond between a child and a mother, and how wonderful it is to get to watch them grow up and be part of their journey and help guide them along the way. And so when my girls were adults, it just was natural for me to extend that to other children.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to stop just because they didn't need me to baby them and pack their lunches anymore, which I still would do if they let me.
That's right. We would do it forever,
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that after, I felt like they were, on their paths pursuing their hopes and dreams, I needed to find out what my hopes and dreams were. And I've always had this pull to Africa and pull to children. And I didn't know where it came from. And before it was just like, oh, that's an interesting thing that, keeps coming into my head. But once I started taking the steps and stepping into that in a big way,
right.
All of these amazing connections, you were an amazing connection, Delene as amazing connections, all these amazing connections have come my way to help, in journey, and that is lifting the continent of Africa.
That's really amazing. So you found you had that pull specifically to help those in Africa. But what made that be the case? Like, why Africa versus
I still don't know that, and that was one of my questions. It's like, why there? I'm half Indian, so I would think that maybe that would make sense if I felt very called to India, but I want to go there. I know that there are people whose lives I would love to touch and who can touch mine, but for some reason, I don't know, Africa's always been the pull, and maybe those were the prayers that I happened to hear.
Oh, good.
So
good.
I'm not questioning it. I just follow it.
I would love to just be able to show people what you mean by that pull and tug to help those in Africa, because not everyone would even have a visual. Sometimes it's one thing when people say that they help people, but it's another thing when they get a visual and get the opportunity to see it. So let's go to the Desire to Inspire Foundation.org and kind of walk us through your site here. First of all, I love it. It just draws you in with the colors and the excitement and the joy on the children's faces. But talk about it a little bit.
Well, when we first started, we only had a few pictures. And when I first started, I wanted to mostly share positive, inspiring stories with people, because I know so many people that are doing so many kind, compassionate things in the world. And, if you turned on the news, you would just think the world is a terrible place. And I know that there are bad things that happen, but there are so many people doing good things. I wanted to share that with people. Then I went to Africa and I thought, these children inspire me. These people inspire me. Any hardship I've ever endured my whole life pales in comparison to struggles that they face every day, yet they're not complaining. They're not sitting there gossiping about people. They are helping each other, and they're laughing and they're dancing and they're singing, they're sharing. And I just think, my gosh, that's inspirational. And I want to share that with the world.
Wow. That's amazing. Inspiring communities around the world. As long as poverty persists, none of us can truly rest. It doesn't take much to change life. Together, we can make a difference. And you offer people the opportunity to just join you on this journey. And Desire to Inspire is a nonprofit organization for all of those that are watching that connects communities around the world to break the cycle of extreme poverty. The global partnerships and outreach initiatives provide resources to fulfill just some basic needs, things that sometimes people take for granted. But in Africa, in this particular area that she's focusing on, they need this sustainability and the love that we can all provide from around the world. So this is just giving water and basic things that the donations go towards. What are some of the things that people that donate to Desire to Inspire Foundation, where do some of those proceeds go?
Well, since I started, we've mostly been focusing on, basic necessities, but I'm proud to have been part of, drilling 3 boreholes in different communities around Ghana. And oftentimes the the boreholes is where they get their water. I mean, they don't turn on a faucet and have water just come to them. So being able, one of my favorite stories is after we did a borehole with You at Heart Foundation, my friend Nana, who is one of my best friends in the world, probably one of the kindest humans I've ever known, like genuinely just so good. He said that an 80-year-old man had pulled him aside and he said, "Thank you, son. I get to taste clean water before I die." Wow. And I just got goosebumps. I've told that story about 1 billion times because that impacts me so much, to be able to have that kind of an impact on someone's life. Wow. There's nothing to compare to that.
That's amazing. Amazing. So people that want to donate to your foundation, they can go to DesireToInspireFoundation.org and donate.
Yes, absolutely. And I've really been trying to get away from the traditional donation model. Okay. I mean, we need those, because there are great needs. And right now with the situation happening around the world, their challenging situation has become desperate. Okay. And so, donations are very helpful. But what we want to do is create sustainability for ourselves and to help them sustainability for them. Mm-hmm. So we're working on the skincare line, things like that, so we can earn money to fund our projects and give people the opportunity to put their own gifts and talents in the world, doing work that they love. Yeah. If you love gardening, then that's where you should be putting your gifts and talents. If you love writing, that's where you should be doing it. If you love creating, that's where you should be doing it. And you should be able to, take care of yourself, from the inside out.
I love it. I mean, this is inspiring. It's touching. It's, I'm trying to make sure that I not cry too much on the show, but this is just such a heartfelt plea to people to just say, hey, I'm not begging for money or anything. I'm actually saying that the money that we use is going to go to give someone some basic running water, some basic necessities that can be met, to things that we can go just to their fridge and get. They have to go to a borehole and be able to have it just happen to come out. But how does it come out unless somebody like you or different organizations around the world go and put those in? That just seems like it's so much effort on your part. And people take these things for granted, like people that go and do these mission trips to help. This is not something that you take lightly. You have to leave your own family and go to Africa and help somebody that's less fortunate than you. So when you took your first mission trip there, how did that play out for you?
Oh my gosh, that's a funny story because, I had never been. I had met this beautiful woman here, and she was going to be a queen of her village in Ghana. And I said, oh gosh, I've always wanted to go to Africa. And she goes, well, do you want to come? And I thought, well, what better time to go than to, a coronation of a queen of a village. So I started making some plans. I thought, I'm going to do it. And it turned out we communicated, but our schedules didn't work, but I'm going. So, I looked up a volunteer organization online. I found a school that I could go volunteer with. And in the midst of stepping into saying yes to something I didn't know what was going to happen on the other side and not knowing a single soul, all of these connections and things just started moving. There's that quote that says, when you commit to your dreams, like Providence will start moving. And that is exactly what happened. I met this person, my Nana. He's one of my best friends in the world. And we've traveled all over Africa together since we met. But going there, people would say, you don't know anybody? And you're going to go meet this person that you've been talking to for a few months? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And for not 1 second was I ever afraid, and it just, everything. And I'm not saying everything will always work out the way we think or hope it's going to, but it definitely, in my case, moved some mountains and continues to do so to this day.
So what advice would you give people? Because I know there are so many people that I personally know, they have the heart to help. They have the desire, like literally the desire to inspire and to be selfless and do something for somebody other than themselves. You know, I know people like that, but at the end of the day, they don't know even what the basic steps are to go. And I don't want to say with a safe group or anything, because it's like I don't know. I don't even know that there is an unsafe situation. I'm not even sure. You know how you sound ignorant, and that's what I feel like I sound in this regard, because I don't even know what the basic steps are for a person that has the heart to participate in something like this, but that don't have a clue where to start. Can you? And it sounds like you were in that spot. So I never would ask a question to someone that couldn't answer it without being able to say, I walked in those shoes, but it sounds like you walked in those shoes. So help us that haven't walked in those shoes.
You know, every time before I do an interview, I always think, you know, what is the most important thing that I should share? And today, before we got on this interview, I wrote, if you see an opportunity to put more love and kindness into the world, do it. So that being said, you know, that we can all help. There is always a way. And we're launching an initiative this week. So I'm really excited about it, where we're going to ask people from around the world to send messages of love just out to the world. And we're going to be sharing those in your own language. So I want to hear it in, you know, every single language that people, and have people join us, and we're going to share that. So for us all to understand that we all have the power to help. We don't have to have the money to help, because our love and our compassion, that helps, you know? And so you take the steps, you do the scary thing, you know? It wasn't easy. I had to figure it out, but I was willing to look things up. And I know this man, Scott Pfeiffer, he started the Go campaign. He's so amazing, and the work that he's doing is so great in the world. He did the same thing. You know, he got to a place where he's like, he looked up a volunteer organization. He chose Tanzania. That's where he went. And today he's in, I don't even know, 52 different countries. I could be wrong on that, but making a substantial difference in people's lives. So it's like hearing the call, and even if it sounds crazy, just say, what can I do today from where I am to take a step towards that?
I love that. That's my takeaway. So it's not necessarily that everyone has to go and journey to Africa or to third world countries to be able to say that, hey, I know that I've made a difference. And like, I've donated to many organizations. So technically, I have played a key part in changing someone's lives, because those donations have helped get more boreholes, or whatever the case may be, whether it's books, bikes, it's organizations my husband and I have donated to, and we sent Bibles and bikes and stuff to children in Africa. So I know that I'm making a difference, but I didn't know from that perspective. So you inspired me today to know that I can be right here, making a difference by donating to places like your organization.
Well, Kim, you make a difference every day. When I see your podcast, you are sharing inspiration. You are sharing hope and love. You do make a difference. You know, I think when somebody says, you know, why should I care about what's happening in Africa? You know, there's plenty of things happening in your own backyard. I understand that. And I think we should help wherever we see the need. But every act, whether it's kind or it's unkind, it puts an energy out into the world. You know, we're adding to a collective energy. So any bit of goodness that you can do it.
I love it. I love your dog in the background too. The dog's like, oh, you're going to pay attention to me, Mom.
Well, we have 3 of them, and it gets worse. It's morning time, so they could pop back in any second.
They're like, you can be as cute as you want on that show, but don't ignore us over here. That's so funny. Okay, you know what? I want to go to a few audience comments, because people come on my show and they're part of the studio audience. So it's technically like they're walking up to the mic right now and saying something. And so let's go and do a flash round of the audience comments. Andrea Belk said, good morning.
Good morning.
Cheryl Cook said, good morning, everyone. Wandra Audrey said, I'm watching. Good morning. Don't forget, guys, if you have any questions, this is a great time to pop your question in, and definitely Dawn can answer it. Love the show, Kim, and Dawn is a great guest. Yes, she is. Yes. And then, I don't know, that's from somebody in Florida. Rachel Harper says, thanks, sis, for sharing. Chantel Patterson said, good morning. Me, I love to help people. Yes, Chantel. Chantel helps me with Gabe's Heart Foundation, and
Oh,
we do all kinds of random acts of kindness. And literally, people have no clue that we're going to come out and put gas in their tank or buy groceries. They can be in line. We talk to the managers and we say, can we pay for a couple of people's groceries? They don't have a clue. We don't know them. They don't know us, but we call it doing it Gabe's way in honor of
I love it.
my son Gabriel that passed. So that's something she helped me with. Thanks, Chantel, for being on. All right. Anybody have any? You have any? And then also Mother Julia Harper. She's our church mother, 80 years old, and she watches every day. She said, "Look, I can't type all those comments on there, but I watch you every day." Her and Mother Adele.
Oh, love it. Love it.
So I know too that you're an author, and I really want to make sure that people walk away today knowing the power of 7 words that you talk about in your journals, your books. I want to make sure that I show. I want to. Oh, do you have it over in front of you?
Well, this is the Little Book of B, which you will not find online because this is the one that we give to the children.
Yeah, I have that too. I have that as well. Because when I first met you, released that. So,
well, and I have exciting news about that because we are updating it, and we're going to make it digitally available. Since I can't get to Africa to physically give them my books, I'm going to send it to them at least so they can have the words.
I love it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about B.
Yes, I would love that.
So there are 7. I'm gonna say, let's talk about word number 1. So the 7 powerful words.
Yeah, and I don't put them in any particular order just because I think they're all so important. Like, I can't say that love is more important than grateful, so I think I put them all there. But instead of the 7 deadly sins, I came up with my 7 words that I thought were really important to always be mindful of. And it's being genuine, like being authentic, like being your true self. When I'm talking to you, Kim, or if I'm talking to, my neighbor or somebody at the grocery store, I'm always this person. Being love, putting love out into the world in every interaction we have. Being strong because, life is presents challenges to all of us. And, getting back up, being determined, keep saying, I not given up, being grateful. Just the fact that we woke up this morning is, I think, something that we need to be grateful for, to be inspired, to look at life and think, I get to live this life instead of, what do I have to do today? Being kind, compassion and kindness. I feel like they are the highest currency. And being happy, because, I think happiness is contagious. And when I see a child in their happiness and their joy, or the dog frolicking, it makes you happy because you just see that aliveness. So those are my 7 words, and I try to be very mindful of them.
Wow. And when you say being happy, in my opinion, happiness is almost like it's a choice. It's not something that somebody else can bring it's like people can make you excited and have you have a great moment or a feeling of flutteriness or whatever, or excitement. But when it comes to true happiness, I believe that happiness is something that comes from within.
Absolutely.
And that's something that God can equip you with, regardless of what's going on in your circumstances or your life. So I love that one, being happy and being kind.
People can add to our happiness.
Yes.
But you can, if you're expecting somebody else to fill your cup to make you happy, it's never going to get full. It has to be a full cup inside, and then you can give it and project it. And then you attract it also.
Yes. People can add to your happiness. Like you're adding to my happiness today on Memorial Day. Where maybe everybody's not having a show. The Kim Jacobs Show is able to be on air because of just 7 powerful words of being able to just be. And how important it is during COVID-19 times and times of uncertainty, times of isolation, and times where people can't be with their loved ones to celebrate different monumental occasions. Like I turned 50 on Sunday, is May 31st.
Happy birthday.
I'm so excited. So, people aren't able to just necessarily come together for the big shindigs that they normally would come together with. So these key 7 words that are full of power can help really resonate with people during this time. So I'm grateful, very grateful. So how can people get the books, the journals, the products?
The books are all on Amazon. This Little Book of B, again, if you follow us on our social media, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and LinkedIn. I just started going back on Twitter because I'm in quarantine. But we'll be making announcements. So when this is ready, my biggest thought in the word, my children in Africa are listening to me. They're listening to these podcasts. They read these books, and I want them to remain hopeful. And they give me as much, if not more, than I give to them. Mm-hmm. So, that's my message. And when I'm speaking, I know I used to be, when I first did your show, that was a couple years ago. And I remember, being a little bit nervous doing podcasts and things like that. And now I'm like, I am so secure in my message. I know what that is. I don't have to rehearse it. Like I can speak from the heart for hours and hours about my experiences and the power of these words, and the power that I've received in stepping into my own power. That I just love it. I'm so excited about getting to do this.
Now, when you say these words, you live these words, what made you pick these 7 words out of, there are like a gazillion words. You can look in a thesaurus, a dictionary. There can be all kinds of words that you could have selected, but you narrowed it down to these 7. Why these 7?
Because to me, I feel like those are my power words. Those give me hope and strength and, perseverance. And, when I say like be genuine, you'll hear somebody say authentic. Same. Right. Just showing up as you really are. Don't worry that somebody's not going to like you because you have an opinion that's different than theirs, but stand firm in your belief, like have your core beliefs, but be kind about how you share it. Mm-hmm. Just things like that. You intertwine all these words, and it was a process. I had written a bunch of quotes, and I was like, how do I organize all of these into something that's kind of cohesive? Mm-hmm. And that's when I thought of, I always try to look for instead of saying, I don't want this or don't be like that, I always try to look for the positive way of that. So this was kind of like, instead of the 7 deadly sins of telling people what not to be in the world, this is telling people what they could aspire to be in the world.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And you're on social media. What's your social media handler on? I'm kind of learning lingo. What's your social media handle on everything?
Are we posting? Are we tweeting? It's a Desire to Inspire Foundation. Again, if you look that up, you'll probably find us on Twitter. I think it's Desire to Inspire 7. Okay. And then you can always look up my name. I'm happy to be friends with anybody who sends me a friend request, because I love getting to share these beautiful stories and these beautiful people with the world. Because, I also think that a lot of time, and people have said this to me, and I didn't really realize it, that, when you think of Africa, you just think of poverty. Mm-hmm. And that's not my Africa. There is poverty for sure, but there is a richness of their soul that I see. And there is a beauty of their spirit and their beings that I want to share. I want to show.
My God. And do you ever coordinate trips to go now that you've met your Nana, had your own experience, and it's like, now you have it down pat? But for those that may say, I want to venture and go here myself, not just donate from North Carolina.
I've heard a lot of people say that, and we are working on putting together a volunteer trip. The COVID situation has kind of put plans on pause, to see kind of what's happening in the world. But mm-hmm. I have had so many people that say, I want to go to Africa. Right. And I want to share my Africa, my beautiful children, and and watch them dance. And so that definitely is coming up. So again, like us on social media. That's where we're going to be keeping people constantly updated about the new happenings, how they can get this book and the digital copy.
Right.
how they can just, be inspired.
I love
When
it.
you're
I
having
love
a
it.
bad day. Yeah.
So if you want to follow, which we encourage you to follow, Desire to Inspire Foundation, you can look them up on Twitter, LinkedIn, all of the social media sites, between looking up Desire to Inspire Foundation or Desire to Inspire 7 or Dawn Whitty. You will find everything that you can pertaining to the great work that Dawn is doing. And I'm just so excited. I see a lot more comments coming in now that you've talked about B. So I want to make sure that I give people a chance to chime in. Again, let's see. Katrina Womack said, I agree with what she feels, that everybody has the power to help, even with them and around them, within them and around them.
Yes.
And you agree, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, Kim Langford has a new magazine. I'm sure she would be interested in talking to you more too. She has a magazine that's literally like a magazine that you can also turn into a journal, called the KL Experience.
Ooh, love it.
It's beautiful. It's just a beautiful magazine. It's so colorful and bright and vibrant. And within the magazine, where people normally read a magazine and you toss it or use it to cut some stuff out for your vision board or whatever, hers is actually a journal too.
Oh, so good.
So you can keep the magazine forever. And she just released her KL Experience, and definitely look her up, and between the two of y'all connect.
Absolutely.
I'd love to do something with you. Lydia Best, happiness oftentimes is based on what is happening versus joy comes from within. That's my belief. Yes.
Amen, Lydia.
The joy of the Lord is my strength, girl. Okay, good morning, Logan. Thank you for joining. B is awesome. That's from WDW Magic in Florida. Okay. So these are some really great comments. And what advice would you give people that are struggling with being? They just like, that's nice to hear from somebody that seems pretty excited in life, but I'm over here having a hard time just existing.
I think that in this situation where there's so much uncertainty for everybody, I start to have some worries about, what's going to happen after this is over. And every time my mind starts to go, even remotely in that place, I just say, you know what? It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
And I trust that God has a plan. And I was here for a reason. I agreed to come to be on this planet at this time, and I'm going to make the best of it. And the best way I can do that is help others through it. So if they're afraid or they're worried or they're struggling, I can do whatever I can to, help lift them. And that helps lift me because it gives me some power in the situation.
That's good. Good. You're such an inspiration. I'm so glad I had you on today, because it just brings, like, my cheeks are kind of tight, smiling so hard. And I think that people really are getting a chance to learn more about just being and being grateful to be able to be, And so I'm honored for that. Let me also take a moment to let you guys know that today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show, and I'm excited about this because we have the opportunity for people to be sponsors on the Kim Jacobs Show. And so each time, if you're interested in running a commercial, or if you're interested in highlighting some component of one of your products, as long as it's not something that's against my moral belief, and I have the right to decide, you'll definitely get the opportunity to have your product featured on the Kim Jacobs Show. But today's episode, let me update this. Today's episode is sponsored by Sean Hall, All Roads Education. And so let me make sure that I share her information with you guys. She just wrote a book called Prepare Now, Don't Pay Later. And this is her personal story of a roadmap to higher education, debt-free, from somebody who has had it happen 3 times over. So Sean Hall is today's sponsor of the Kim Jacobs Show. Prepare Now, Don't Pay Later. Now, you can get your copy of her book on Amazon or you can also go right to allroadseducation.com to obtain your copy today. And I'm really grateful that Sean chose to be one of the sponsors for the Kim Jacobs Show, because that gives me the opportunity to say that she recently helped my son, Ivan, get a scholarship like $5,000 just last week.
Ooh.
And it's amazing that the money that she's been able to help him secure in scholarships to further his education is not something we take lightly. So I know I can speak from personal experience that, I mean, I may not be able to speak this much about every sponsor because I may not know you all at that level, but Sean Hall knows how to help get children debt-free education. So take advantage of those services and purchase that book. And if you're interested in sponsoring an episode on the Kim Jacobs Show, all you have to do is reach out to me, kim@thebalancedoctor.tv. You can provide your camera-ready video clip of 30 seconds, and I'll run it right here on the show. Or you can have me do a shout out for you, whichever works best. I also want to let people know that we are seeking college interns for this summer for college credits. And so we're looking for 1 editor, 1 graphic design artist, 2 social media content developers, and 2 broadcast journalism digital media reps. So make sure you know that that's happening. And my final announcement for today, well, it's not for today because I have another announcement, but This Is How I Fight My Battle book launch. I am a collaborating author with the book called This Is How I Fight My Battle, and it's a virtual launch party tonight at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you tune in. And when we go live, we're going to have a good time. It's a themed event, and we're doing our launch party of our new book release, This Is How I Fight My Battle. Now, you're also a new author too, contributing on a project, right?
Yes, we are co-authors. Women of War, Peace in the Midst of the Storm. It is such an honor to be part of this collaborative effort. Delene, Dr. D, mom of 3, she's amazing, and she's put together such an amazing group of women, strong women who have, I always say, everybody has a story. We all have a story. And when we keep getting up and our best healing comes when we share that struggle with somebody else to help them through that challenge. And I feel like this book project is that. So we all get to reach so many lives, and it's so fun to be part of this. I can't wait to read everybody's stories.
So fun. I'm actually a contributing author with Dawn and Delene on that project, and I can't wait to read your chapter.
I can't wait to read yours. I can't wait to read everybody's.
I'm excited about it. What else do you want to share with people as they're going on this journey, and with all of the projects that you're doing? What other things can you share with people to just encourage them on this journey?
I think when we think about things that happen in our lives, again, how somebody talks to us, if somebody's rude, we may want to, respond in rudeness, but, keep coming back to your core. Like, who do you want to be in the world?
Right.
And I haven't always been good at it. Sometimes I've said mean things and I'm like, but now I'm so much more mindful of it. And I keep coming back to, I don't want to look back and say, gosh, I wish I wouldn't have responded like that. I wish I wouldn't have hurt that person's feelings, or, I just want to be the kindest person I can be in the world and not allow people to chink my armor and always realize that, that's not everybody's going to agree with me. And that's okay. I'm so firm in my beliefs and who I want to be in the world that it's like, bless you. And I'm on my way, it's just okay. Because I have enough of my people in my life that I'm not going to please everybody. And the ones that, I just don't want to give any energy to it. I don't like you, not any negative energy. Just, I put my energy where I want it to keep going. And that is in love and kindness.
That's good advice. Now, I have a guest that said, Katrina Womack said, if you were going to volunteer for something like that, what is the amount of time or the time frame / commitment does this consist of? So she's probably talking about if she was to journey on a trip to Africa or to volunteer with Desire to Inspire Foundation.
Yeah, I would say what we were planning on is doing a 1-week trip because, it's a long flight to get from the United States all the way there. So to go for less than a week, I think it's a wasted trip because there's so much to see. There's so many people. So a week would be a good amount of time. When I go for 4 weeks at a time because, because I go to Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, and Ghana. So I do a bunch of different places, a few nights here, a week here. It's a lot of traveling. But, for a volunteer trip, it would be about a week, I think would be a good amount of time.
That's really good. Good to know. Very good to know. I had another question. What is the moment in time that you realized you were living your purpose? Is there like a special moment that's like Oprah calls it the aha moment, or people say, this is it. I now know that this is what I'm destined to do. When did that trigger happen for you?
I think it was a process. I don't know that there was ever one aha moment to get to that because, sometimes I look back at, even though where I want to be is like all the way over here with all these different projects, right, and I'm only over here, I look back at where I started being, a woman going to Africa, not knowing anybody, to where I am, 3 years later. And I'm like, okay, you know what? It is happening. So it's kind of been a process of me realizing that, oh, okay, now you know this person, now you're connected with this person. How did that happen? So it has been a process, but lots of aha moments along the way, for sure.
Very good. Oh, Kenise says, hey, ladies, looking amazing.
Hi, Kenise.
She also just did some clappy hands, and yes, it's on tonight. She's talking about the virtual launch party of
I'll be there.
My Battles. I'll be on with Kenise Etwaru tonight at 8:00 p.m. And she's big on saying whoop whoop. Go Don Whitty. She's going off. Women of War, peace in the midst of the storm.
That's one of the things about this book project that I think is so beautiful is we are all supporting each other, cheering each other on, sharing each other's things, showing up for each other. I mean, that is the way we lift each other. There's no confrontation or any animosity. It's just all like cheerleading, rah, rah, you go. And if we could just see more and more and more of that.
Yes.
It's very inspiring.
I'm a big believer in just being able to celebrate other people. And so to me, life is not about competition. I don't care. I think the world is big enough for everyone to be able to be wildly successful and to be able to live your dreams. And whatever God has for you is for you. And it doesn't mean that you have to step on somebody else or diminish or minimize someone else in order for you to be great, because God wants us all to let our light shine. So I'm a big believer in that. So
absolutely. And again, that goes back to the being happy, and the energy you put out is the energy you support and uplift people. You're going to find that in your life.
Yes.
You put people down, you diminish them, you're going to find more of that in your life. So what do you want to bring into your life?
I agree. Some more comments. Comments are flooding in. You might have to go back later and just check the comments. But Kim says, trust the process. Kim Roundtree, she does a beautiful presentation with CEOs, and she is powerhouse. And she said, afternoon, good to see you guys. She's a force to be reckoned with. Kim Roundtree, make sure y'all follow her on social media as well. You ladies are stars. You are a star, Kenise. How do you avoid being overwhelmed, Dawn? Trying to get all these questions in.
Yeah, I used to have a problem with that. I'd get very anxious and, I got to do it. And then, again, after I started stepping in my journey, I'm like, it's going to get done when it gets done. And you can be anxious about it, or you can say, breathe, it's going to happen. So how do you want to have that experience? Do you want to have it being like all flustered and worried, or you want to have it like with peace within you? And you're going to be more effective and do it better if you're peaceful about it. So you just remind yourself, it's going to get done in God's time.
It's going to get done in God's time. Okay, Justine Hilliard.
I like you too.
Like her. Dawn, what kind of affirmation do you say to keep yourself motivated?
You know, I get messages from my children and my friends, my loved ones in Africa every single day. So many messages that I can't get back to them as often as I would like to. That is, that feeds my soul. Like I don't have to say anything to myself because the work I do is for them, and so I get this positive reinforcement all the time.
Wow, good. So other people pour into you and that keeps you going.
Yep. Yep. It
Wow,
motivates me.
that fuels your motivation.
Yeah. Yes. It's love.
Oh,
It is just love.
okay. Dawn, how do you manage your time?
Oh, not very well. My house is kind of messy. um, I'm fortunate that I have pretty flexible schedule. So, I can do, sometimes I'll get inspired to write at 11 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning since I can't sleep past that. So I just, get things done when I get them done. And I've also realized that not everything has to be perfect. My house doesn't always have to be immaculate. Sometimes you can go to bed with some dishes in the sink. And do the things that are most important and that eventually will all get done.
I love it. In my book, I talk about prioritize to maximize. I don't even have my book right in front of me, but it's called Extreme Balance Makeover. And if you guys would like a copy of that electronically, all you have to do is just email me, kim@thebalancedoctor.tv, and I'll get you a copy of that. It's $9.99 for an electronic download, or you can get it on Amazon. But I talk about these things. How do you prioritize your life to maximize your life? How do you live your life on God's terms? Because if God is not at the top of that list, all other stuff you want to happen may or may not fall in place the way you want it to. So keep those things in mind. A lot of comments have been coming in. Somebody said, so encouraging. Thank you. You're leaving a legacy, Kanice said, for your kids. Kim Roundtree said, right, I agree. We have choices. Speak positivity rather than being negative. Other people pour into us, and that's what keeps us going.
Yeah.
It's love. Love that Dawn. Love that Dawn. Dawn Whitty. Not everything has to be perfect. Please teach me how to do that.
Kanice, just doing it is perfect. I had a thing to do the other night, and you were supposed to do it at this time to this time, and I kept doing all the steps, not like I was being instructed to do it. I kept thinking, oh gosh, you're not doing this right, and I just thought, that I'm doing it. We do things imperfectly, but doing it is the perfect thing. It's not how we do it; it's the intention behind doing it, and we have to cut ourselves some slack. Like, we don't have to be perfect because there is no such thing. What you think is perfect might be very different from what I think is perfect. So I think perfect is exactly how something shows up.
Wow. That's an awesome answer. This is inspiring. Okay, so I know people are still flooding in answers. Flooding in questions. Let's see here. I don't want to leave anybody off, but people are okay. I need the balance, doctor. Yes, I can definitely help you.
We all do.
Anything you need me to help you with, I can help you. But the thing that I always say is exactly what Dawn is saying. First of all, my answer is when somebody says, how do you do it all? I don't do it all.
Right.
Just so we're on the same page. So anybody that makes you think that they're doing everything right and perfect and it's just this beautiful imagery, guess what? That's not real, and that's not a realistic depiction. What works in your house may not work in my house. So you have to customize your approach. And I talk about that as the balance doctor. And I can help anybody that's interested in learning more from a balance perspective on how I'm able to balance all of the things that I believe God has equipped me to be able to handle. So anyway, Kim Jacobs, I want to order that book today, please. The way that you can order the Balance Doctor book, let me tell you about that real quick. I got to figure out if I have a thing that can share it. But anyway, you just you can order it by Cash Apping. I'll share this Cash App Kim Jacobs Inc. or PayPal me, paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc. If you want to order extreme balance makeover. I'll type that for you. And it's only $9.99 if you go through me for the download. And I'll share that with you. Kim Jacobs Inc. or PayPal me / Kim Jacobs Inc. to order Extreme Balance Makeover for $9.99. It's an electronic download that you can download to any of your devices, or you can go to Amazon, since we're talking from a balance perspective. Okay, other final comments here, because we're getting ready to close. Let's see. So insightful, Dawn. Thank you so much. I keep learning from all of you ladies every day.
As do I.
I'm writing a book right now about how to live in a negative world with a positive power. That's what Lydia said.
Yes. Love it.
Kenise said, just do it. Love your response, Dawn. Cut myself some slack, Cassandra said. I like that.
Yes.
Cassandra helps me so much too, and Sean is huge in helping me too. And you're right, Cassandra, just being able to say you're doing a marvelous job. If you don't celebrate yourself, guess what? I sure do. Yes, very inspiring. Gracias. That's Kenise. Okay, I think we got through as many comments as we could today on the Kim Jacobs Show. Thank you guys for showing so much love to my guest, Dawn Whitty. I want to go back and give you her contact information. If you did not hear all of the points, I do think that it's so important that we go back real quick and just share those. Dawn, you said you can kind of rattle them off.
Being genuine, being exactly who you are, being love, both to yourself and to others, being strong, getting up every single time, life knocks you down or takes you off course, being grateful for all that we have. And every morning we wake up, there is a breath in our bodies. We're alive. Being inspired, living with passion, being kind, because it's the highest currency, and being happy. Again, choosing to be happy in your life. Those are my 7 words.
I love it. And you said people can add to your happiness, but happiness comes from within. There you have it, everyone. Dawn Whitty, one of fantastic, inspiring guests, founder of Desire to Inspire Foundation, and author and speaker. You can follow her and purchase her books, which are amazing. She's also coming out with a downloadable version for you. I said that in words. Say it again, what it is?
It's The Little Book of B.
The Little Book of B. She has it right now in hard copy version, but she's also going to be creating it in a downloadable version. So look for that on her website. DesireToInspireFoundation.org is where you can find all of her products. She's also the new author of a book that's called Women of War, Peace in the Midst of the Storm. Her book launches on June 6th, and that's going to be a virtual launch party. So you will be able to follow Dawn Whitty, see her book release, and be a part of that. You can purchase your books from her. And it's right. I don't know what your cost is for your pre-launch book. I don't put what's your cost for your pre-launch?
That looks fine.
I'm like, I don't put a price up there. You're like, did I tell you that, Kim? So right now you can reach out to Dawn Whitty right on social media. You can inbox her. You can go right to her Desire to Inspire Foundation page and purchase your pre-ordered copy from her of Women of War, Peace in the Midst of the Storm. Right now, she's until the book launched June 6th, I think she's releasing her book, which for only $15. Now, keep in mind that after the book launch, it's going to go back up to the regular price. So this is a special offer that she's doing for you. I'm your manager right now.
I know. Like, thank you.
Like, good, great.
Oh, man.
Make sure you get your copy of Women of War, Peace in the Midst of the Storm while it's on the pre-launch, pre-order costs. Okay. When I say fired up that you are on today, remember my show was sponsored today by Sean Hall, allroadseducation.com, author of Prepare Now, Don't Pay Later. If you too are interested in being a sponsor on the Kim Jacobs Show, you can go to Kim at thebalancedoctor.tv and just simply express your interest, and I'll share the fees with you. So today's episode has been wonderful. You know how you get on a show, Dawn, and there's that final thing that you're like, oh, I really wish I said this and I didn't say it. What is it that you want to say?
Well, I think I'll just repeat what I said earlier, which is what I wrote down before we got on the call is if you see an opportunity to put more love and kindness in the world, do it.
Wow. If you see an opportunity to put more love and kindness in the world, do it. Just do it. That's where Kenice was saying, just do it. And I will ask if you would go back and just check all of the comments because so many people have commented. One person said, I've been laid off since March 3rd. So if anyone needs help, a baby says she advertising her services. She like, look here, I babysit. So y'all go back and check her comments too. Hi, Lady Kim from Lady Skylar. Lady Skylar is her daughter, and she watches my show. I'm so glad I went back to see this comment. Hi, Lady Skylar. She's like she's gonna be like this wizard where she does science inventions and she likes mixing things, and she's just an extraordinary young lady, very brilliant. So I'm glad to take a moment, Skylar, Lady Skylar, and say hello to you, young lady. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. It inspires my heart, sweetie. Okay.
Hi, Lady Skylar.
Yes, talk to Lady Skylar for a second. She's a young girl, like 8 years old, 7, 8. She needs inspiration. So say something to her.
Oh, you know what? Follow your dreams and lead with your heart.
Oh, you hear that, Lady Skylar? Follow your dreams and lead with your heart. And you're already such a special jewel to the world. So even young people can change the world. And so you're already off to a great start. All right. Women of War, Peace in the Midst of the Storm, pre-order from Dawn Whitty today for only $15. Make sure you do that. Dawn's final thought: if you see an opportunity to put more love and kindness in the world, just do it. Everybody's saying, I love that, Dawn. Love you, Dawn. Hi, Ms. Dawn. That's what from Skylar. Love Skylar. We're talking about you, Skylar. Okay, I'm going to close out too today because many of you may know that I am turning 50.
You are ageless.
I'm so excited. And I don't, you know what? I am so, when I say so geeked up and fired up, I don't even know how to express how much joy I have inside my heart. And everything for me is, if it's God's will, then let his will be done. So if it's God's will, I'm asking that he allow me to officially get to 50. And I am so grateful for it. Let me tell you a couple of things. This is something that I'm going to definitely let you know. Things that I know as I approach 50 years of life. And I'm going to just say a couple of them each day. And, you know, as I approach 50, I know that God loves me. I know that God loves me and that God favors me. And I'm so grateful for that love and for that consideration and for that favor that he's put in my life. I know that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and I am honored to serve him with all of my heart. I don't even judge what other people hang their souls and their hats on. I can hang my soul and my hat comfortably on knowing that my Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ. What else do I know? I know that God has a purpose for my life. And I am going to work diligently each and every day to live out that purpose. And whatever he wants me to do, I'm going to do it with my whole heart, with everything within me. So that's plenty for today. I'll tell you more throughout the week on what I know. And I can talk about what I know on the Kim Jacobs Show because it's my show. That I know. I know a few things that I'm going to just keep on pressing forward to see what the end's going to be, which is eternal life for me. Dawn Whitty, thank you for being on my show today.
Thank you for having me, and happy birthday.
All right, guys, on that note, go and subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show. Turn on your notifications. Make my birthday special. At least let me get flooded with subscribers. If you haven't taken a chance to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show, just say, you know what? Let me go ahead and just subscribe to this girl show.
Just do it.
Tell them what you do to subscribe.
Subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show everywhere you can.
Thank you, guys. Listen, reach out to Dawn Whitty, and I am going to just share it one more time. Desire to Inspire Foundation. You're doing a marvelous work, Dawn. Thank you for your contribution to the world.
Thank you. Thank you, Kim, and happy birthday.
All right, everybody. God bless you.